Welcome to School Beat TV. I'm Tommy Tran from Cleveland High School.
And I'm Miles Whitworth from Ballard. Each year, media students from around the district come together to produce an episode of School Beat TV. So, here we are again, taking over the school district's TV studio.
You see us here in front of the cameras, but we're also working behind the scenes, producing, directing, running cameras, and working all the crew positions it takes to put on a TV show.
In this episode of School Beat TV, we'll focus on student media makers. We'll be looking at the wonderful films and videos produced by students of Seattle schools. We'll be sitting down with students from Cleveland, Ballard, and the Skills Center who will show us their work and to talk to us about what it's like to be student animators and filmmakers.
Several students from our school have been interning all year at the Media Operations Center. Let's take a look at the video they created about their experience.
The first thing I saw was like a bunch of wire all over the place and just like these two really big cameras on like the left and the right side. And I was like, whoa, this is serious.
Stepping into this TV studio was like a dream come true.
You don't have a lot of opportunity for something like this.
It was a whole new kind of media that I got introduced to.
So here at the Media Operations Center, or the MOC as we call it, we operate the cable channel for the Seattle School District, Cable Channel 26. We also produce programming for students, for staff training, and information for the community.
It's a great opportunity in that you're learning from professionals. You are in a professional environment, you're using professional grade equipment, and you're also working with people who know what they're doing and have been in the industry for years.
There's a lot of useful things that you learn here.
I expected really scary producers who were going to yell at me if I didn't know how to do something, but that was completely different.
Everybody is so kind and helpful, and what's great about the internship here is that everyone wants you to learn as much as possible.
The staff at the MOC is amazing because you can just walk up to them and ask them anything.
They're very helpful and very approachable. If you go up to them and ask them, how do I do this and how do I do that? They don't look down on you.
I don't think I ever felt intimidated by anyone that works at the Media Operations Center because everyone was so helpful and open to wanting to teach me.
I learned about the key, fill, and back and the three-point lighting. And it was fun.
By working under good examples of professionals, you can really set yourself up for future opportunities.
As a student, there's a lot of ways you can benefit from this internship. One way is academically, so you can earn a lot of service hours, or you can actually earn a credit by being an intern here. The process of earning a credit here would be working for 90 hours within a semester. What's great about that is that you can put that on your resume and you'll stand out a lot from other students because who can say that they intern at a TV studio?
In this profession, a lot of times people don't want to just see a resume, but they like to see a reel of your work. And so interning here is great because you get to be involved in a wide variety of projects.
Currently at the MOC, I'm actually producing this ad, and what I've been doing is interviewing current interns and former interns, transcribing their videos and scripting them.
The interns provide us with a lot of energy. They provide us with a certain skill that they bring from school, and we in turn give them a professional environment.
You may not be getting paid for it in money, but you're getting the experience and the opportunities that won't just be handed to you in the future.
So currently, I am living in Los Angeles. I work at a voiceover talent agency called DPN Talent. I basically handle all the coordination for our animation and interactive clients. Working among professionals while in high school was important because it gives you people to look up to and to learn from.
Don't be afraid. If you join, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to approach these people. Don't be afraid to make mistake.
You have all the staff members' support, and it's just a very inviting place to be.
That's really cool. If you want to learn more about becoming an intern, visit us on the web at seattleschools.org/MOC.
Joining us here today are Corn and Wen from Cleveland High School. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
In the video we just watched, we saw some Cleveland students interning this past year. Is this something you would like to do in the future?
Definitely. It seems like a good way to get to know people in the business and different students around the area.
Corn, I know you're a senior right now and you can't participate in this internship, but I would like to ask, how did Cleveland prepare you for your future plans?
Well, coming from Cleveland, it's a very diverse place, and I feel that the school has really sparked my artistic passion for digital film.
What types of projects have you guys been making this semester?
We just finished up a lyric video, and we started out with a just video project, so no audio. Then we did a just audio project, putting in sound effects and trying to get people to feel like what they might feel if they're just like close their eyes when they're watching a movie.
What about you?
I've been doing a lot of the same things, just with different people, and for me, I think the experience has been a little bit overwhelming, but a little bit exciting, considering it's my first year in video production, and it's been very fun.
Which part of video production process did you like the most?
I'd say my favorite part of video production that we've done this year is probably our just audio project. It was cool to kind of see how you could just take voice recordings and throw a lot of sound effects and things like that to make it seem like it's a real conversation. And the type of feel that we wanted to get with this project was for the viewer to kind of just close their eyes and visualize everything that's happening as if they could actually see it.
How can you see yourself applying these skills in other ways?
I think especially in our generation or the world that we live in right now, recording things and documenting our lives is just like so fundamental. So being able to like know how to like get your message out in a correct and professional way, and knowing how to do that is really important.
Yeah, I'd also add to that that just the way that the world is currently, the current state that the world is in right now, I think documenting everything that's happening and all the current issues that we're going through right now is very important, and it's very important for the future generation to also learn about that.
Thank you both for coming here and answering our questions.
Glad to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Mr. Gordon, our video teacher at Cleveland High School, has one assignment where he asks students to make a silent film in order to bring out the emotions from the audience without using any music or dialogue. So to wrap up this segment, let's take a look at one of those films created by Andrew Hong, Rosalie Ma, Sumaya Osman, and Zi Junguan. Here's Birthday Party.
Joining us now are students from Mr. Lawrence's digital film program at Ballard High, Scala Leek, Claire Elliott, and Crystal Kurz. Crystal, tell us a little bit about your documentary, Transformative.
My film, Transformative, is a short documentary, and it follows Ezra French, who is a transgender youth, and it kind of explores kind of the struggles that transgender teens have to deal with.
How did you draw inspiration to produce a documentary about a transgender teen?
Yeah, so like about a year ago, I saw on the news kind of stuff about Initiative 1515 and kind of the bill that pushes for transgender people to use the bathroom that corresponds with their biological sex versus their gender identity. And I thought, I didn't see like any transgender teens kind of represented in the media, and so that's kind of how I drew inspiration to make this documentary featuring a transgender teen.
Well, Claire, what was it like working on your first documentary?
After Crystal and I produced Transformative, now I really appreciate the hard work that goes into producing a documentary. It takes hours of footage just to create a short 8-minute piece like our documentary.
Do you think the LGBT community is well represented in the media?
I think that the LGBTQ community has a lot of room to improve with representation in the media, but looking back on the past, we've come a long way.
Okay, now let's take a look at your film, Transformative, which has won many awards, including at NIFTY and at Cine Youth of the Chicago International Film Festival.
They think it's like this big thing that's like so different. And like, I guess it is different, but it's like not like the most important part of me. It's kind of like a blurred line from when I like realized I was trans, because I sort of already always knew that I was different. Like when I was little, I never really felt like a girl, but I didn't really like know that like I could feel like a boy. But I guess like once I really got into like viewing media and stuff, and like other trans people like coming out and telling their stories, that was sort of kick-started like my whole coming out process.
I think that the depictions of transgender people in popular culture, or the presence of people like Caitlyn Jenner who are telling their stories, is super helpful. Just to have people have to start thinking through those issues.
The main thing that it seems to me needs to happen is more like a normalization, like more exposure of transgender people's lived experiences and our existence to people who don't know what that word means and don't realize that we really are everywhere.
I don't think that there's anything more important than that coming out process and that storytelling process for developing a sense of common understanding and appeal really to people's most basic decency and humanity.
When I was in like 6th grade, I watched a lot of TV, and like I would always watch movies and TV with like very like strong like male leads, because that's like usually how it is. But then like I remember distinctly thinking to myself, I can't watch movies anymore that have like male leads, because I remember I was like, you cannot watch those anymore because then you're gonna want to be a boy. Like I remember saying that to myself, and I remember thinking that because I saw that like character, and I was like, oh, I could be that, I could like do that, but then like I was so scared, and I was like, okay, I can't do that anymore. One of my main concerns was like my parents, because like my mom is always like, oh, like boys are the worst, like I hate boys, they're so annoying. Then my dad's always like, oh, I'm so glad that I never had like sons, and I'm so glad that I had girls because they're so much easier. So like when I would hear my dad and my mom say stuff like that, like it wasn't like damaging, but like it was sort of just like, oh, like maybe they won't love me anymore.
There is a large number of well-intentioned people who probably would want to do the right thing and behave well, who just have no idea what that even means and haven't ever had to think about those issues.
The more people you mingle with, I just realized that I wasn't comfortable and I wasn't happy.
Youth need to be listened to. I think that is maybe one of the main problems, is that there are a lot of people trying to fix a situation they don't understand and are not getting information from the youth who are actually living in it.
When I think about the laws that we still need to take care of, I guess I'd start with youth and say that we need to not just provide advisory help for districts, but actually make it required for districts to protect and take care of transgender students. And of course, kids are coming out much earlier now, so that's created a whole set of different issues.
I had like this free counseling because it was the beginning of freshman year and I hadn't told anyone that I was trans yet, and I needed to talk to someone, and I thought, oh, I should see a medical professional because they'll probably be consoling and stuff. So I went to see this lady and I sat down. She's like, what's your problem? And I said, I think I might be trans. And she was like, okay, tell me more about that. And I was like, well, I've had these feelings for a really long time, and I know that like deep down I'm a boy. And she was like, aren't you a little too like young to know that? And I was like, well, no. And she was like, are you sure? Like, everybody goes through hormones and like weird feelings in high school, and like just because you want to cut off your hair doesn't mean you're a boy. And I'm like, no, that's okay. And then I was like, okay, like she didn't really tell me anything that I like didn't already like think about. And it was sort of just like, yeah, you're not qualified to talk to kids about this, which is kind of sad.
We had not one, not two, not three, not four, but I think at least 5 separate bathroom bills that were introduced this last year in the legislature.
Trans people should be able to use whatever bathroom they want because it's just a bathroom. Like, you're going in there to like do your business. That's like, and that everybody needs to do that.
That bill and the initiative really exposed some ugly parts of our society. I am just dismayed that there are people who are either that ill-informed about transgender people or who want to use transgender people to make political points for themselves.
Transphobia, I think, depends on sexism and classism and ableism and racism, for sure. And all of those things interact with one another, and they all support and are supported by a culture that's kind of based around like sameness.
Their most fundamental relationships depend on the idea that the guy gets to make the decision and that there is this binary difference between people. Then you start to understand why the idea of same-sex couples or the idea of people whose gender can actually change becomes very threatening to the foundation of their whole idea of social order.
This is an especially heartbreaking day for all of our friends, our fellow Americans who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender. The shooter targeted a nightclub where people came together to be with friends, to dance and to sing and to live. The place where they were attacked is more than a nightclub. It is a place of solidarity and empowerment where people have come together to raise awareness, to speak their minds, and to advocate for their civil rights.
There's always a silver lining to a cloud, right? And one of the great things about having to have this fight is that it offers us an opportunity to have a much broader conversation about these issues.
My friends have been really supportive. When I came out, they all like switched over to the right pronouns and the right names like automatically, and also like they like if somebody else is like being rude or if they're misgendering, they like take them down. Like they are always really like defensive of me, and they protect me, and that's like really nice because like if like even like here at home, like sometimes it's hard. But like I know I can always go to like my friends and stuff, and they'll always support me and like be there for me. Like, I'm no different from them, just the fact that like I was assigned a different gender at birth, and I don't understand like why that's so like shocking. I just want to be treated like a regular teenage boy because that's what I am.
Also from Ballard is Scala Leek. She's in her 3rd year of the Ballard Digital Film Program and is also an intern here at the MOC. She's here to talk about her film Comeback. Scala, tell us a little bit about your film. I understand you've won several awards, including nomination for the Student Emmys.
Yeah, so Comeback is a film that I did my sophomore year, and it's really about a teenage girl who kind of loses everything that she loves. So in this case, it's about soccer, and not only is she a soccer player, but she's like the team of the soccer team, or she's a star of the soccer team. And through the video, you see that she goes through this accident, and you kind of follow through her struggles.
What are some challenges you faced during the production?
Yeah, I would say the biggest challenge that I faced was replicating a real soccer game because, you know, there's a lot of people that go to that. You need a lot of players to cast. So being really prepared for the production was hard. You had to get, you know, real soccer uniforms. You had to cast a lot of people to play all the players. And then we had to make a crowd. So we had to get like 20 extras, and that was probably the biggest challenge.
What did you enjoy most about the process?
What I enjoyed most about making Comeback was probably working with my team. I had a really amazing group. There was Avery, Cameron, Aaron, and we all did. It was a really fun group.
Now let's take a look at your film, Comeback.
We should probably go to practice, guys.
That's great. So I understand all of you and other Ballard students are creating 2 documentaries for IMAX. What can you guys tell us about?
Yeah, so IMAX and United Nations selected 5 digital film programs across the country to create a documentary trying to advocate for like environmentalism and talk about climate change and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and our team decided to focus our documentary on the Bullitt Center, which is a sustainable building located in Capitol Hill.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty unique because when people talk about climate change and carbon emissions, you normally think, oh, cars, but no one ever thinks about buildings. So I think we're kind of shedding a light on kind of an aspect of climate change that needs to be addressed.
Wow, I'm really excited to see how this turned out. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Coming up, we'll be talking with students and the principal from the Skills Center. First, let's take a look at some really cool visuals from the animation and video game production class.
Here with us are Kaylista Bell, Jacob Mock, and Principal Goldesman from the Skills Center. Welcome. Principal Goldesman, can you tell us about the animation and video game production classes?
Sure, and it might help to just to explain a little bit about the Skills Center first. The Seattle Public Schools Skills Center provides advanced career and technical education to 16 to 20-year-olds during the school year, and in the summer we get to serve incoming 9th graders through 12th graders in our summer programs. And we have a lot of different programs in different program areas like aerospace design, medical fields, auto technology, maritime operations. So, but we have some media arts courses too, and one of those courses is the video game animation course, and so in that course students get to learn about how to create video games, how to do the art piece of creating characters and images, and learn basically what it would take to do that in a real job outside of high school.
In addition to the animation and video games classes, you mentioned that the Skills Center has a lot of other media programs. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, this year we're excited to introduce 2 new courses. So one of them is at the same location as the video game animation course, and that's right next to the center school actually, and that's we've decided to split the 2 courses or the 1 course into 2 and have a more arts focused animation course and a more computer programming focused course. And so that's going to be starting up this fall. And the other new course is starting actually this summer and going into the fall, and that's the media arts course. And in that course, we're going to be doing some work around, we like to say, digital storytelling and using media to share stories and share information and learn, again, what it takes to do that in the real world after high school for a real job.
How do these classes prepare students to either go to college or into a career?
So depending on the courses, some of our courses prepare students to get a job the day after they get out of high school, or they could go on to get more training. Other courses, for example, the media arts course is more like this. It would require more training after high school, so either going on to get a technical degree or go on to a 4-year college or even graduate school. And what I like to tell students and parents is that all of our courses provide students with options and opportunities to really focus their energy. So as they learn more and more about what they like to do for work, that'll help focus their school. So whether they get a job the day after they get out of high school, like I said, or go on to college, they're going to be more focused in their studies. And also it often results in being able to get a better summer job to help pay for college along the way.
So Kaylisa, what sort of career or industry are you interested in pursuing?
Well, I'm really interested in pursuing game design and animation because I feel that video games fail to have a lot of diversity, especially when it comes to people of color, especially women and non-binary people of color, and I want to change this because growing up it was hard for me to relate to the characters because the majority of them are just cis white men. So that's why I want to go into that.
And for Jacob, has anything surprised you about video game or animation production now that you've been behind the scenes?
I always knew that there was like a lot of work to be put into like games and animations, but like through like the classes, I found out that like it's more than just, hard work of an individual, and it's more of like a group work. It's like a group effort. It's like, cause you like, when you do work, you always know like, yeah, group effort, but the connections between the people have to be like family-like in order to make the project really shine.
What part of the courses that are really fun for you?
I thought it was really fun learning how to work with a team. Like Jacob was saying before, it's a really important skill when it comes to game design that I didn't realize because I've always just been into the art aspect of it, and I never realized how much goes into going into a video game, and so that was really cool for me. And just learning a lot of different techniques for game design and animation that no one would have really thought of.
What kind of impact can video games and animation have on people's lives?
I feel like that when people watch and like play these games, they can really feel the amount of effort that like the people who worked on it put into it. They can relate. Like some people, will be able to relate to the characters and to the narrative that is written by this group of people. And I feel like that will inspire people to think more creatively and to improve as a person and maybe get into the industry as well.
Thank you for coming through to SchoolBeat TV, and thanks for answering our questions.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Thanks to you and all of our guests today on SchoolBeat.
We want to acknowledge our student producer, Scala Leek, who wrote and edited this episode of SchoolBeat, and produced the intern video we premiered earlier in the show.
And we also want to thank our teachers and the staff members at the Media Operations Centers for providing us the opportunity and their support.
And thank you for watching.